Hi there, let's take a look at your submission for the Chapter 6 Pennies exercise. So I'm just looking through the first column here, column B, to make sure that you have all of the names assigned to the cells. That's good, you've done a good job there. But then I can see that the data table didn't turn out so well. And here's why. Because the data here in row 2 is missing. These cells need to be pointing to source data that then the data table will use to walk through its estimates. And because those are missing, it can't produce the results. And so what I just want to remind you is that our data table is playing a what-if game. And that's one of the things that we love about Excel, is that we can use Excel to say, well, what if? And in this particular spreadsheet, what we're asking Excel to do is we're actually asking Excel to say, well, what if monthly sales, what if we have a bad month and it's only $50,000? Or going through the series then, what if we have a really great month and monthly sales are $500,000? And then we're asking our data table to calculate everything in between, right? All of those steps in between. And the variables that we want it to look at, like what variables impact monthly sales are, I'm going to pull up the step here. That is step L, I think, the data table. So just before step L, step L is the two variable data table. So for the one variable data table, the input variables that we want to work with are here E2, F2, and G2. We're going to input the field name gross, and then income taxes, and then net. So I'm going to start with E2, which is here, and I'm going to point to cell, which we've assigned the name gross, which is actually here, cell, what is that, B8. All right, so I'm using that name instead of the cell address, which is one of the things that we've learned in the chapter. And then what's the next one? I forgot already. Net income, income taxes. Okay, so I'm going to say equals income, and I'm going to select income taxes from the list. And income taxes is really cell B9. We're just using the name that we've assigned it. And then the last one was net. So I'm going to say equals net, and then there I can select your cell name, net, pointing to B10. And then notice, see how I'm adding these in, and now your data table is producing the results that we're expecting from it. So that's the fix that you need to apply there. And then let's take a look at your two variable data table. Yep, so here we're kind of in the same boat, except for the instructions ask us to carry forward the series this time, going from 4% to 5% to 6% to 7%. So that this time we're not pointing to other cells. We're just giving Excel a series of data that we want it to use while it performs its what-if calculations. And then there you can see, once you enter the proper series, then the data table fills out. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so let's try the data table again. So I'm going to select that data, and I'm just going to press delete on my keyboard, and I'm going to run that data table again. And I'm just going to remind myself, let's go back and look at the instructions for the two variable data table. All right, column headings, here it is, two variable data table. You've done that. We just now applied the series. That's all step I. Step J, use the name net in I2. Okay, so I'm on cell I2. Right? Yep. Oh, okay. And you have the name sales. We want to point to the cell named net. Okay, there we go. All right, now we're going to select all of that. Oh, wait, before I proceed, I'm going to remind myself step K says for the column input cell, we're going to use B2. And then for the row input cell, we're going to use B4. Okay, so now back to the spreadsheet. I'm actually going to change the view of this so we can get it all on one page. See if I can't zoom down a bit here. Okay, so I'm going to select the starting data for the data table. Under the data tab, what if analysis, there's our data table command. The row input cell is B4, tax rate. The column input cell is B2, monthly sales. And don't worry that on my screen that's represented by the hashtags here, that just means my column's not wide enough. I'll correct it in a minute. It's because of the zoom level. So don't worry about that. Get those entered in and click OK. There, that's the results we want to see. So that's that 2 variable data table. So go ahead and make those fixes, and then your work will be looking good. Email me if you have any questions at all.